Shithawks. That's like I think that's my personal favorite.
Thanks, man.
Just because it's like insanely
wall,
badass. I think Daly's he's giving me So
Right
that's definitely a favorite. Tell us about that song. The Bastards are on there.
Yeah, Bastards are on there.
There's the Wilhelm
we got
Scream.
Wilhelm
Yeah,
Scream on there.
Wilhelm Scream sings on that. He's the only guy that we gave his own part to.
Yeah.
Because the song, we knew we wanted to involve Nuno in a certain way, in a big way. Because I mean, like, to be honest, like, we've all been fans of a Wilhelm Scream forever, and then we got to meet the guys and play some shows with them, and now they're some of our closest friends.
Toured with them several times now.
Yeah, and it's just
get along really well.
For us, it's so cool. I mean, like, even if we're like, we haven't toured with them in a while actually, but we've seen them a lot. Like, we'll stay at their houses, like, we'll see them in Toronto, all this stuff. We'll see them randomly while we're on tour together, or while we're individually on tour, and it's been cool to make that friendship with those guys because we have the utmost respect for what they do with their music and their ethics and the way they go about things, and so them as people, man, they rule, So we knew we wanted to get them involved, and John was actually the one that came up with the idea that Nuno should sing that specific part in Shithawks, and it just, man, once he said it, it made so much sense, So it worked out well.
We also just wanted to write a song because Paul's a lazy drummer. he's a really good drummer.
He makes it look easy.
He's just yawning behind the kit, so we wanted to write something where we could just be like, you know what, Paul, here you go, buddy.
Nice.
Pretty much.
How is Paul and how is Darby?
They're doing
good.
great.
They're good. They're getting us some beer at the LCBO right now.
Nice.
They're probably pretty high right now.
That song is I would say that song is one of the angriest songs, and not of a sense of like angry feeling bad or guilty about like what we do, because that baggage comes with it. But that song's just about people that talk shit.
Yeah.
That's really it,
Yeah, I mean, it's a heavy song.
Yeah. I mean, like that's one of the heaviest, maybe the heaviest song we've ever written.
I think so.
Yeah.
And then right after that, you have one of the most mellow songs and most like poppiest, if you will, we've ever written. So it's weird, but we pulled it off, I think.
So let's go to Monumental, and that's definitely the song. Like, as soon as I heard it, I was like, okay, like
we've gotten some support for some radio stations and everything across the country. We're still a little surprised by that. But
did you guys write it like as a radio?
No,
we never really do that. But I remember Chris was playing that riff.
Yeah.
We didn't. This is like the very end of the recording. That was probably the last song we recorded.
Yeah, that was the last song we recorded for the first chunk because we recorded two chunks, right? That was the last one to come out of those sessions. It was during pre-production. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
Chris was playing that riff, and I ended up putting some chords behind it, and we just pretty much wrote that song in 15 minutes, and just went right in and recorded it.
No way.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it took I had the melody in mind for a while, and then it took me a little while longer to get the lyrics out, but. Yeah, pretty much. That's how it went down.
You have a video for it where you get pelted with glass.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's fake glass.
Oh yeah.
No, it was real glass.
It's real glass. Yeah.
I'm still cut. If you can see.
That was some sketchy business though, man. Like having that girl just smash that right in our faces.
I thought she was gonna let go of the bat, accidentally just slip out of her hands.
It's
and
Paul.
She was just mere feet away from us. You know what I mean? So it was pretty insane. It was pretty insane, but it worked out well.
We wrecked that house.
Yeah, I can tell.
There was glass everywhere in that house, and
it looked like it was fun to film.
Yeah, it was. It probably wasn't that fun to clean up though. We helped a little bit, but then we just
leave.
Sorry guys, we gotta go.
We helped for an hour or two, and then we're like, we gotta go. It was the night before we did Warped Tour, I think.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So next day, when we saw you, so next day, we had to get up super early, and that sucked. So we were like, we gotta get out of here.
Filthy Habits. Obviously, people knew that song before. Why'd you guys decide to include it on the record as well?
That was actually up for debate for a while. Yeah. We weren't sure if we were going to do it. And there was a part of us that believed that we should just keep it on that Cynic 7-inch, which was a product of the way the recording process ended up being for that record, to kind of kill time, basically. You know what I mean? Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, we hadn't put out anything in so long. And we were like, well, we have these new songs. We knew that we had a song kicking around from The Great Awake, 407. We had a song recorded for the record that we pretty much figured wasn't going to make the record, which was Thunder and Lightning. And then we had Filthy Habits. And we'd been playing that song for a long time live. It was one of the first songs we wrote for Cavalcade. So we were like, you know what, let's just put those songs out. And then if we want to just keep Filthy Habits 2 being on the 7-inch, we can do that. Or if we want to put it on the record too, we can always do that.
I think it just came down to a vote, and everyone voted too.
Pretty much.
It was a good taste of Cavalcade, though.
I thought it was, And I mean, it was a good bridging point, I guess. And I think at the end of the day, we just realized, all right, as cool as vinyl is to a lot of people again, there's still going to be a lot of people that don't pay attention to 7 inches, and like maybe we're selling that song short if we only put it on that. So I think that's where we came down to in the end, and included it.
Fair enough. I'm looking at my iPod. Okay, I knew it. Live Her Alone. I think that's another favorite on the album.
Cool.
You do some weird stuff right off the top with your voice there.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. That song's
I think someone grabbed his balls.
That song's just about drinking, man.
Yeah.
Being a shithead.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
We can all relate to that.
Oh yeah.
Sleep Your Life Away.
Sleep Your Life Away is about, well, the title comes from us being on tour, and we like to sleep a lot. And as late as we could possibly all sleep in, we will every day.
You bastards.
And our buddy, our tour manager, Dorian, one day he said something so hilarious. And he just said, I mean, it might not even sound that funny now, but to us, it was
he was being the grump for like a bunch of days. And he kept on waking up early while we were just sleeping. So
for hours still.
So at one point, he's like, just fuck you guys, man. You're just sleeping your lives away on tour, man. You're go out and see something right now.
It just sounded like something our dad would say. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God.
So of course, because he was already upset, we just kept on making fun of him for a while.
So it became a pretty good inside joke for a while.
Yeah.
And then
was that song actually about sleeping?
No, not at all. Well, I mean, like, okay.
It was about making fun of Dorian.
Did he go for a nap after saying that?
I think he did. But we were out all night partying, and I think he went to bed early, so I think that's why he was a little upset.
The song itself is just about like when, you know, like a very small issue can occur between two people, whether they're dating or they're just friends or they're even family members, any kind of like social status these people have with regards to one another. And like one small thing can happen and it can just snowball and word of mouth and all this stuff, you know, and like broken telephone, and it just becomes this awful situation where like you can't even like stand the sight of that person, you know what I mean? And to be honest, I didn't write it from like a personal standpoint.
Did you write that about me?
I wrote it because I saw something going on between a couple friends, and it was like these people I worked with actually, and it ended in a really weird, awkward way. It got all these friends involved, and it was just like a really ugly situation. And basically, like the whole title, obviously, like it came from that joke. But when I was a kid, it's a really strange thing. And even now, like if I'm going through something like really devastating or just something like kind of hits me out of nowhere and I can't deal with it, I sleep it off. That's what I do. I actually sleep it off. Like I sleep all day. If I'm upset about something, I'm not gonna want to do anything. I just sleep.
Yeah.
So I kind of tied it all together and for like the lyrics, and it matched the like I guess like the ferocity or whatever of that song, because we're listening to a lot of Hot Snakes and we wrote that song, so that's what we did. Yeah, pretty much.
We were just talking about Drive Like Jehu the other
Nice,
day.
yeah. You know what I mean? We had this like really like abrasive sounding song, and it's a really abrasive, like kind of touchy subject, you know. But everyone goes through it, so
Yeah. I've definitely slept off more than just hangovers before.
Yeah.
For sure, man. I mean, it's because you don't want to. You're going through something, you don't want to think about it. You know, when you're awake, it's like all you can think about. We've all been there, you know. So I just sleep it off.
Yeah. It works, kids.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Count Your Bruises.
Count Your Bruises was one of the last songs we wrote for that record too. And so actually, so was Live It Alone. Bruises just was about. It's basically the lyrics are about some of my favorite cities that we've been to. Not all of them, but some of them. The cities that are mentioned in that song, some are more obvious than others, but it's San Francisco is in the first verse, and so is Amsterdam. The narrow corridors and everything, that's all Amsterdam, because you go there and you're just walking around these like cartoony looking buildings, and it's so weird.
It's people doing drugs and prostitutes.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. It's like you feel like, it's very, very bizarre. But it's a cool place, you know what I mean? It's like, where else in the world is like that? You know what I mean? Like that's that like you know,
Chinatown.
Like you know what I mean? It's like it's so touristy and it's so accepted there, and it's just like all this shit that so many people, especially North America, would just turn their noses at. You know, it's cool.
Well, it's super liberal.
Yeah, exactly, which is awesome. And Chicago's mentioned in that song.
And cities that are even a little uglier.
Yeah, and then like the one city that's mentioned in the song that's like in a negative way is Los Angeles, because I'm just one of those guys that I know it's a cliche thing to either love or hate that city, but I hate that city.
Yeah. We've had good times in that city.
And we have good friends there too, so like that is always fun. But
I think after driving 4 hours and moving a couple blocks, maybe,
it's just
it's
just dealing with all that shit, and it's like it's just the height of human ignorance in a way where it's like, hey, it was a tiny piece of land. Let's just mash all these people together. You know what I mean? Like, figure it out for yourself. And just like, fuck, spread that shit out. California's huge.
Yeah.
The world is huge. You know, like
Hollywood's full of losers too.
It's just, I don't know. You know, like again, we have good friends there. We've had good times there, but in the end, cynicism, kind of won over that. And that song's just about being away, and kind of the same thing as Treble in the sense where it's like you're away, you're doing what you love, but you like I mentioned in the chorus, like it's an asshole parade, and that's kind of how I've always felt about it.
Cool.
We're just going off, doing what we want to do, kind of leaving the people we love behind, and they've supported us, and it's awesome, but you still feel bad about it,
Yeah.
So it's kind of like celebrating what we've been able to pull off, and like seeing these places we never thought we would, and at the same time recognizing how lucky we are, and like to have the people we have. You know what I mean?
Cool.
Yeah.
And then this is actually perfect. New Year's resolutions. Last song on the record.
That's
a good song. I mean,
Thanks,
it's an epic
Thank
song.
you. No surprise, it's a bummer.
Feel good record of the year, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Go buy it.
I'm just gonna start listening to a lot of the Beach Boys, I think, after this, and just totally change my tune.
A lot of ABBA.
Oh yeah.
Just do an auto-tune record next, maybe.
That song is basically just kind of about like where I was going with the whole Jazzman explanation of, we had the song Eulogy come out, and it kind of changed the band in a way, and like a lot of people, were into it, and it helped them through things. And then Jazzman's done the same thing. We've heard similar stories, but through that whole process where it was like a few people had passed away, and then one after another, and we just started realizing, like, wow, life is short,
Yeah.
And basically that song just kind of recollects like the end of 2008, I suppose, and it's just like found ourselves at so many goddamn funerals. And it was awful, dude. And again, it's life, I guess, and it's a really like hard thing to realize, but it's just, that song was just like basically thinking like, when does this end, man? Like I know life ends, but when does like this barrage of just like sadness and just loss and death come to an end, and it never will, obviously, but it was just that we were getting hit with this shit so fast, and we were on tour a lot of the year and all this, and it just makes it all the more worse, I guess, if you're away and then you come home to it, and it's it's just all these issues festering in your head, and that song just kind of just sums up that year.
I almost felt like it was almost two songs, because you have like the first half, and then you have the sort of the epic ending. You know what I mean? Which goes, you know what I mean?
we kind of wrote it in mind of being the last song off the record, so we wanted to end with quite a different feel than the beginning, So
for sure. It's kind of two songs in one.
Yeah.
In a way,
I liked it. It just seemed like you guys were experimenting a little bit as well. With that track.
I mean, I feel like subconsciously, because we never sit around and be like, well, this song is about this, so let's tackle it this way. Like, we don't do that. It just kind of works itself out. And I feel like what happened with that song was that
I can't picture you guys sitting
you know what I mean?
around
Like seriously, like with a
band meeting,
a to-do list and all that. But basically, I feel like we tackled all the different feelings you like one harbors when they lose someone that's really important to them. You know what I mean? Which is like, obviously, the beginning of the song is fast and it's angry and it's kind of spiteful in a way, and it's very regretful, and but it's still at the same time looking to like this like a new dawn, kind of like in a way, like tomorrow, looking to tomorrow. And then the ending of the song just kind of tackles like the really more morose feeling of like what I was just saying, like, dude,
especially
when does this end,
those last lines of "Have you found your way out?"
And like a few people have been like, were you thinking of killing yourself? Like, I've actually had that question asked before. I'm like, no, my God, no. It's just
She's been like, yes,
no,
kids.
just, you know what I mean? Just like, just in the sense of like, have you found your way out of just being like miserable, or have you found your way out of just like, have all these people passed away in a short period of time? Is it gonna like, have you found yourself like breaking out of that awful chain of events? You know what I mean? Like, just kind of in a way.
It's kind of uplifting too at the end, I think.
Yeah,
I think so. It's like a dark optimism.
There are a few people that are apparently worried about me. It's kind of weird.
Hey man, it's a
kind
great,
of weird.
You got
it's
any
a good album,
resolutions,
man.
though,
Do I?
Yeah, the New Year's coming up.
I got nothing, man.
See, the ironic thing is, I don't believe in New Year's resolutions.
Yeah,
I stopped believing after I kept on trying to quit cigarettes for like 10 years now, or at least saying that I'll do it within the year, and
I can't not picture you
never
not
even
smoking.
try.
Yeah, that's like another
No,
thing I
it's
can't
not
picture.
a thing I do.
Actually, I should quit. I'm close, man. I'm like,
Yeah?
I'm down to like one a day.
One smoke a
man.
day?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Right on.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna try to stop sleeping so much.
You guys are gonna see me later tonight, like chains.
You're just smoking the pack.
Yeah.
Still in the pack.
Just one, giant flame.
I was gonna actually ask you if you had a cigarette.
Daily dose.
Really does.
Guys,
Thanks for having
thanks
us.
a lot.
As always.
Congrats on the success.
Sorry for
of the
bumming you
record.
out.
No, it's okay. Yeah, it's a great album, and
Thank you.
yeah, I definitely think it's one of the top of 2010. So
Thanks.
Thank you very much, man.
yeah, keep on.
We'll try to top it next time.
Keep on trucking.
ExploreMusic wears English Laundry apparel.